Up next is Abdul to share his story.
The first bomb. I was upstairs looking at the sky. I saw a smoke outside from a building that was burning. I thought that something had caused a fire, but it was a bomb that exploded. That was the first time. After I watched the fire for a few minutes, my brother Seth came to me and pulled me downstairs, and a bullet whistled between us so fast we couldn't see it. The war in Syria started when I was 7 years old. To this day, war is still happening there. Before the war, Syria was a unique place for everyone who came to our country. The mountains, the trees, the rivers, the weather all attracted people from all over the world. When the sun set, the mountains changed colors to black and orange, reflecting the sun. There were open people in open air markets, and we always liked to talk with people and visit other cities and parts of the country every month. It all changed when the war started. A lot of people lost their lives from the bombs that exploded around us. It was a deep, constant fear. Each time there was a bomb in the middle of the day or at night, we didn't know where the bomb would fall or if it would fall on us. It was an everyday fear, a paralyzing fear. There were stores that were bombed and damaged to the point that only the walls were standing. Nothing there, no groceries, nothing in the markets, all burned like a piece of cake that had been lost for years. And then, one day, my dad decided we would leave Syria very quickly without even discussing it with my mom. My brother Sif and I were scared and we wanted to leave Syria. I was afraid that something would happen to me or my brothers or someone I loved in my family. It was at sunset that day and I really thought something had been taken from me. I didn't know then what it was. My dream, my childhood, the people who I loved, my friends, my city, my country, my homeland, the food, the Ramadan celebration. Where had all of this gone? Gone from my life. The time came, so we gathered, my nieces, my aunties, and my uncles, in my house to say goodbye. My uncle bought a chocolate and some cake for me. At the moment that I was going to the car, he came and gave me a huge hug and was crying, and I was crying. I couldn't eat the chocolate he gave me. When I opened it, I didn't feel like the taste of the chocolate was like before. I felt it wasn't something that I could hold in my stomach. I didn't like it. I was 8 years old. So there we were in the car, my mom, my brother Seth, and my sister and I, and the taxi driver, and we drove over the mountains and landslides. And it was very green. I didn't feel anything. We drove to the home of a family and ate there and shared information. I was a child and I was tired and don't know what they talked about. I started feeling sad. I ate the last food that I ate in Syria. It was rice with chicken and soup. We had peas in the rice, just how I liked it. And then we crossed into Jordan. It was night. We were in a valley surrounded by trees and rocks and mountainous land, very steep. My mom, my brother, my sister, and I walked, holding my mom's hand tightly to not feel so terrified. We walked and saw in the sky so far away from us a big fire exploding like a tornado in the direction of my country. My mom's face was like a stone, so I wouldn't feel her sadness. We kept walking for nearly 5 hours to the bus stop, and then we rode, and then we rode until we saw a wall surrounded by broken iron chains. It like going to prison. It was exactly like that, even though we didn't know it yet. Once we went there, we could not go outside again. They saw us if we ate, if we drank, if we went to buy groceries. The people from Jordan gossiped about us until we got from until we got sick from them talking about us so much. We stayed in this prison, not prison, where it was so unhygienic. And we were, there was no room or space. That bathroom, the tents, were all dirty and full of moths. I still hate moths. Dive bombing around our heads all the time. We stayed a few weeks until my dad could come. Living in the camp was a nightmare that transitioned us to our different life. Outside Syria, to a darker view of people that I'm still fighting. I fight people hating my culture and religion. When we crossed into Jordan, we didn't just cross a geographic border. We crossed the border from being treated like a civil people to be treated as though we were hardly even human.